I'm so sorry for telling this, but I really don't have a good feeling about this. Nina says, panicking and making me panic eventually. We have taken another day off to try and figure out a strategy to display the artworks and the pricings for each one. We are in the dining hall looking at each of the kids' handworks. They're good, really good. I think these are cool, I say. Yeah, but what makes you think that people will actually want to buy these? Why not? Quilling earrings are kind of trending, I defend. Those are really spectacular and unique designs, often made with an advanced kit. Nina, they're kids. They're doing more than what's expected of them, don't you think? I know, and people, I'm sure, will totally admire them for that. But that doesn't mean they'll be interested in buying them. Even if they do, what income do you expect out of paper ornaments? I don't know, I don't think it'll be of any use. I hope the kids don't get disappointed. They won't. They don't know about our Christmas surprise. It's a surprise. And also, even if they don't end up buying some of these, I think they'd be willing to donate. No, it's not really about the money. What if people don't show much interest in buying these things? They might get disappointed. I don't want something like that to happen. I open my mouth to reply, but it hits me that she's right. My god, what if something like that happens? The sound of a car interrupts my thoughts, and I walk over to see who it is. A white Audi pulls over in front of our gate, and a guy gets out wearing a cap and a coolers. As he walks in, he removes the coolers and the cap, and I see him. I see Josh Evans. I freeze. When he spots me, he gives me a crooked smile, and at that very instant, I feel like putting a bullet through his head. If only I had a gun, and if only I knew how to shoot. 5 days back, my love and praise for him was shattered by this very same man. He's so fallen in my eyes now that I could kill him if I had a weapon in hand. Why is he here, by the way? What does he want? He's still grinning at me, and I shoot back an angry look. Looks like you were right, he says, walking towards me. About what? I say furiously. About the home. It really does exist. I scoff. Of course he's come to check. What a jerk. He really did come all the way here to see if our home existed. I seriously can't believe I had a huge crush on this jerk. Why take all the trouble to come here? I ask. I wanted to see. Now show me the kids. My jaw drops. Seriously? You want to check on our kids? I can't believe this guy. He comes over to check this place out and now he wants to see if the kids are real? How did you even know the place? You shoved the card at me, remember? He says and walks right past me. Not believing the sight, I chase after him, stopping him by his hand. Where do you think you're going? Inside, to see the kids and the people who run it. I scoff in disbelief. Who do you think you are? You asked me for a donation, remember? And you never paid, remember? Moreover, if you remember it right, it was not you that I asked a donation from. He stares at me and I realize I am holding his hand. OMG, I'm holding my favorite hero's hand. I shriek in my head before giving myself a mental slap. Not anymore, M. Not your favorite anymore. I let go of his hand. I despise this guy with a capital D. He walks his way through the corridor and I follow him, keeping the same pace as him. Man, he's fast. He spots Sister Maria's office and knocks at the door. Hey, what are you doing? Don't you think you ask that a lot? His hands are folded and I am staring at him in disbelief. That's because you don't answer. I did. I said I wanted to see the people who run this place. Before I could say anything, the door opens. Sister Maria looks at Josh and then at me and back at Josh. It's Josh Evans, the actor I told you about the other day, I say. She nods, remembering. How can I help you, dear? Dear? You seriously choose to call him dear after I've told you what he did at the beach? Moreover, he's here to check if I were right about the place and the kids. Let the boy speak, she says, and looks at him as he smiles sarcastically at me. I snort and decide to keep my mouth shut. I passed by this area and thought I'd stop by. Duh. You came specifically to check on us. Be a man and accept it. I did. I came by this area, spotted this place, and decided to check on her. Happy? Unbelievable, I say and walk away, leaving him and Sister Maria talking. I go to the dining hall where all the kids' works are displayed. Nina comes, noticing the tension. Okay, what happened? He's here, I say and sit on the chair. He who? Josh Evans, I say, tapping my foot rapidly on the floor. You mean the Josh Evans? I sigh. Yes. Where's he? He's talking with Sister Maria. Oh, she says, her face beaming with excitement. Any idea why he's here? To see if we really exist. Why else do you think? Don't be hard on him, Em. Nina, he told me so himself. Stop supporting him for heaven's sake. Okay, sorry. Guess what? Our advertisement started running on the newspapers. We'll keep running till Friday. Wanna see? I nod and she brings the paper to me. We have published ads on newspapers that cover the local area to get more audience. We've also informed our relatives, friends, and co-workers to attend. This is the dining hall, I hear Sister Maria say, and I look up to see her, followed by Josh. I sigh. Are you really showing him around the place? I ask Sister Maria and look at Josh. Are you going to file a lawsuit or something? Why would you want to check the whole place? He shrugs. I want to see the kids too. I want to know all about this place. Why? Are you going to want to count them? See if there really are 70 kids? Are you going to compare them with the photographs I showed you to see if these really are the ones I showed? You know what? These didn't occur to me at all. You sure give good ideas, he says with the same crooked smile, and I grunt. Although I'll only go with the counting idea. No checking of photographs. I trust you with that. I can't believe he just said that. Trust my foot. He smiles. You do realize that the kids have all gone to school, right? Well, a few of them that are below the ages of 3 are here. Go ahead, see them. The others will be back at 4. It's 10 a.m. now, by the way. I'm free the whole day if you want me to stay, he grins. Like hell I do. Get out as soon as you can is all I want. He smiles and walks out of the room, and Sister Maria leaves too. I'm sure he's going to see whoever is available. Nina shoots me a look. What? Nothing. No, go on. Tell me what's on your mind. Don't you think you're a bit too cold to him? And don't you think you are defending him too much? Nina, for a second, remember the way he insulted us at the beach. She shakes her head. I know, but you don't have to do the same to him. Nina, this is where we're different, I say, getting up from the chair. You know what? You keep your principles and I'll keep mine. Thank you, I say and walk out of the room. I go to the room where the babies are. When I open the door, I see Josh holding a baby and Sister Maria is nowhere to be seen. Where's Sister Maria? I ask him. My question startles him as he didn't notice me walk in. He turns and half smiles at me. She's on the phone. And she let you be here? Alone with the baby? I whisper so as not to wake the baby and taking her from him. I don't have a good opinion of him to leave any of the kids alone with him for even a minute, and let alone a 7-month-old. He walks closer. I admire your anger for me, though I don't understand why you despise me so much. Given your actions, I don't see why I wouldn't despise you, I say, moving a little away from him and laying the baby back in her crib. We might disturb her sleep. Let's go out, I say, and he nods and follows. We stand in the corridor. He stares at the play area. This surely is a good place. I nod. What are those posters on the walls outside? A fundraiser. Really? What kind of a fundraiser? I look at him. He is the last person I want to be discussing the fundraiser with. And who knows, he might want proof to believe that too. The kids each is good at something: painting, drawing, ornament making, dress designing, etc. So we thought we could hold an exhibition and raise some money for Christmas. That's the only idea we've got, I say. He doesn't answer for a moment. Cool, he then says. Don't tell me you need proof for this. Ah, I saw it in the dining hall. Jeez, man, what is it with you rich people? What's with us? Why wouldn't you come forward to help others who really are in need? You don't ask for a proof when it comes to luxury purchases. I do help. Yeah, for publicity, to get rid of tax problems, etc. You really think too low of me, don't you? What else would you want me to think of you? Two girls come to you asking to help a few kids, and all you do is doubt us and come all the way here to check on us. Some random girls come and ask me for money in the name of some place, and you think I'll throw away the money? You are aware of the designs of robbery and extortions that happen these days, aren't you? It's just that it's hard earned money and I wouldn't want to waste it. Do you think so much before spending all that money on luxury items? Do you, mister? No, you don't. Why is it that you think so much only when it comes to helping others? I could feel my voice racing. Now that I know this place, I'd really like to give something. You know what? I don't want your money. We don't want it. There are so many nice people, and somehow someone will come to our help. We'll surely find a God sent angel, but you surely are not one. Why not? When I deny to help you, you despise me. And now that I'm telling I could help you, you deny. What is the problem with you? The problem is you are a jerk, and I don't want anything from you. I'm almost yelling now. He stares at me for one long minute, shakes his head, walks off to his car, and leaves. I stare at the car slowly disappear from sight and wonder if I was too rude. Maybe I should have taken his help. Maybe I just spoiled a good chance I got for the kids. Maybe I blew it off. If only I'd had my anger in control and my tongue. A few minutes later, I am with Nina in her room. I thought she would slice me in half hearing how I rejected his offer, but surprisingly, she didn't even scold. You do realize it was one hell of an opportunity, right? She isn't looking at me. I do, and I'm sorry, I say apologetically. Like it would get us back the offer. She looks at me, and I feel like hanging myself. That jerk did so much, and yet, now I am the bad guy. Hell, we'll get something. Someone, I say. Yeah, let's see, she says and walks out of the room. That is the thing with Nina. She doesn't have to raise her voice even a little and she could still kill. It's her thing. What I had done wasn't right and I know it. Great. Now I won't be able to forgive myself for the rest of my life.